In this video, we are going to calculate expected returns, variance, and standard deviation of an asset. Okay, so what we have here, they give us some information, and we're going to use this information to get the rest that we need. So what we have is the potential state of an economy. It could be a boom, it could be normal, or it could be a recession. We are saying that the probability of a boom happening is 0.2. The probability of a normal situation, as expected, 0.7. And there's a 0.1 probability of a recession. Notice that all three add up to 1, as they should. So if there's a boom, there's an expected return of 0.27 or 27%. If there is a normal situation, the expected return then is 13%. If there's a recession, they expect to be a loss of 9%. So to get the expected return, we're going to do something similar to a weighted average. And this weighted average, what we're going to use is the probabilities as the weights. So as you see here, what you do is you multiply column 2 times column 3. That's the instruction there. And that's what we'll do. The probability times the return of that economic state. And same formula. And same formula again. Now, since we want the expected return and as a weighted average, our last step is to add them all together. And that's how we get the expected return. So I'm going to use the sum function in Excel. And it's already guessed or suggested the 3 items that we want to, and Excel was right. So I'm using the sum from E6 to E8, these 3 items. And when you add them together, that is expected return, about 13.6% or 0.136. So we have the expected return. Now we're going to move on to variance. Notice that it says here that the return deviation from expected return. So we're going to take the item on column 3 minus the expected return. That's what it's telling us to do here. Number 3 minus expected return. So if I take this minus the expected return, so I got equals D6 minus E9, meaning 0.27 minus 0.136. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put dollar signs around it to lock it in place, the expected return only. So then I can just drop the formulas, and those are the return deviation from the expected return. What it did here was this minus this, and here is this minus this. Okay, so that we have this piece of information here, we can move on to the next column. So here is a squared return deviation from the expected return. What does that mean? It just means that we're going to square this here. So they could have written that there, but they did not like it here. So it's just column 5 squared. So I can do 2 ways. I can multiply it by itself, or I can tell Excel that I want it squared. That's how you put an exponent in Excel. And all these here are this number squared. Our next step is to take column 2, this is the weighted part for the variance, multiplied by column 6. So I take this 0.2 and multiply it by column 6. I get that value that I want. I get the next one there. That's all we're doing. We're taking 2 times column 6 And now we have the values we want. And our last step is to add them together. So I'm going to use the auto sum function. Equals sum from H6 to H8. That's what Excel suggested, and Excel is correct. And now you know the variance is 0.0082740. Our last step is standard deviation, probably the easiest one of them all. And all we're going to do is take the square root of this number here. So I can take equals to begin the formula. SQRT, it's square root in Excel language. I'm going to go ahead and select the value that I want to get the square root. And there you have it. That's standard deviation. I'm just going to show another way that you can do it, which is I'm just going to go ahead and grab the value. And I'm going to use an exponent of half, which is the same as square root if you do it that way. And if I was to go ahead and format the painter, there you have it. That will be it for this video. See you on the next one.